Hello, my name's Laura if you're new here, and welcome to my yoga channel. We're going to take it easy today. It is a hot day. So all you're going to need is yourself and your mat. You are going to need the ability to be on your knees, come to a down dog and a plank. But today we're just kind of focusing on stretching and moving out our body. So this kind of practice is something that I do first thing in the morning. So maybe this is when you're doing this too, before the day gets too hot now that we're in summer. So we're going to start lying on our backs, drawing the knees into the chest and finding a little bit of movement, rocking side to side. Keeping one knee into the chest, extend the other leg long up towards the ceiling. Maybe just give the ankle a little rotate round and round, maybe pointing and flexing the foot. And then we'll change sides. So draw that knee in, extend the other leg up towards the ceiling. Find your circles in your ankle and your point and flex. Bringing both knees back into the chest. We're going to take a nice big circle with our knees, allowing our feet to almost fall down towards the floor, and then bring them back in. And this is going to just help to loosen up our lower back and our hips. And then take those circles back the other way. Bringing the knees back towards the chest. We're going to take them all the way across to the right hand side, using our right hand on our left knee to guide them. Extend your left arm long. Look towards your left fingertips. We're keeping both shoulder blades on the floor. Focusing on a nice smooth breath. Finding that twist in the spine. And then we'll bring the knees back to center. Guide them with your left hand across to the left hand side. Again, right arm extends. Find that twist. And allow the legs and the knees to just be nice and relaxed. And then bring the knees back to center. We're going to come to a seated position. So we can roll onto our side to help us sit up nice and gently. Come in to join me in a seated position with your legs crossed. We're going to have our hands to our knees, gently dropping our chin down towards our chest. Find a nice stretch down the back of the neck into the tops of the shoulders. Then tilting an ear towards a shoulder to find a stretch down the side of the neck. And if you want to increase that stretch, you can take your hand and place your fingertips to the floor. And that helps draw your shoulder down away from your ear to increase the stretch. And let's take the chin back to the chest. And then we'll rotate or tilt our head to the other side. Again, fingertips down to the mat if you wish. Chin back to chest. With both hands to our knees, we're going to start to draw our chest forwards. Start to look forwards. Coming into some seated cat-cows. We're then going to take ourselves back, rounding the back, chin to chest. And in our cat-cows, we want to think about opening the chest as we come forwards. Taking a nice deep breath in, filling that chest space. And then as you breathe out, rounding the back, closing the chest and opening the back of your ribs, opening the space between your shoulder blades. Take a couple more of those. And then we can take it round in a circle. Circling our chest, cross one knee to the other, exploring the front, the back and the sides of our ribs. Noticing how this feels. Maybe bringing your awareness to your sit bones on the mat, noticing how your weight shifts as you move. And then take it round the other way. And come back to center. We're going to bring one hand down to the mat, reaching up towards the ceiling. Find a nice stretch down the side of your body. Focusing on a nice smooth breath. And as we breathe out, we can drop that top hand up and over. Look down towards the hand that's on the mat. Breathing in nice and slowly, reaching back up, looking up towards the ceiling. And breathing out, drop the hand down, look down towards the floor. One more time, nice and slow. And we'll change sides. So nice and gently bring your other hand to the floor. Start to reach the other arm up towards the ceiling. Find nice length through the arm. Find a stretch down the side of that body. Focus there for a few breaths. And then with the breath out, start to drop that arm up and over. Look down towards the hand on the mat. Moving with our breath, slowly breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, allowing the arm to come down. One more. Good. We're going to sweep our arms forwards, resting our hands to the floor in front of us. Start to find a nice forward fold. Maybe your forearms and your elbows come down towards the floor. Maybe you're not comfortable with your knees crossed, so you've got your legs out in front of you. That's okay too. Stay here, sending the energy of the breath into the back of your body. Start to walk your hands up towards you, lifted nice and tall through the spine. We're going to take an opposite hand to knee and we're going to take a twist out to the side. The hand at the back is going to drop down to the floor, fingertips to the mat, looking over the shoulder. Again, focusing on a nice smooth breath. And change sides. So again, opposite hand to knee, reach the arm long behind you, then fingertips down to the mat, look over the shoulder. And come back to center. Start to roll the shoulders one way and then back the other. And we're going to come into a tabletop position. So joining me in your tabletop position, we just want to make sure that our wrists are stacked under our shoulders and our knees are stacked under our hips. And if you want to, you can grab a little blanket or something if the floor is hard under your knees. We're just going to take a little movement in our hips from side to side. And begin to find some cat-cows here on all fours. So as we breathe in, we start to take our gaze up, opening the front of the throat, and we're lifting our tailbone. And as we breathe out, we're tucking our tailbone in and tucking our chin in, rounding our back. Moving nice and slowly with our breath, breathing in for that lift and extension in the throat and the tailbone, and then breathing out to contract everything back in. Move into your own breath, find your own pace. And then start to take it round in a little circle, just as we did when we were seated. Exploring all the angles of our ribs, noticing how that feels. And change direction. Still focusing on a nice smooth breath. And we'll come back to center. We're going to reach our right arm up towards the ceiling, taking a nice little twist. And then we're going to thread that right arm underneath our left armpit, taking it along the floor as far as we can go, and then dropping the shoulder down towards the mat, resting the side of your head on the mat and creeping your left fingertips to the top of your mat. And this is our thread the needle. We can hang out here. Sometimes it's more comfortable to tuck your toes to give you a bit more stability in the position. And if you want to, you can always take your left hand from the top of the mat, circle it up and over and tuck it behind your back. And then we can start to take our gaze over the shoulder too. And here we're looking at focusing on opening the chest and stacking the shoulders one on top of the other. This does increase the sensations in the pose, so if you'd rather take it easy today and keep that top hand down, then you can. And this is just a nice spinal twist. And we'll start to unravel ourselves and we'll take it across to the other side. So reaching the left arm up, find extension through that left arm, and then come to put it underneath the right armpit, thread it all the way through, take it as far as you can go, then place your shoulder and the side of your head down and walk the right fingertips to the top of the mat. Again, taking your variation of this. If you feel happier with your arm behind your back or your hand to the top of the mat, then choose whichever one is best for you. Starting to unravel. We're going to make our knees nice and wide on our mat with our big toes together, sink down into a child's pose. Starting to open into our hips, finding length down the arms, rest your forehead to the mat. Keep this pose active with our fingers creeped as far away from us as we can get them, feeling the pull in the shoulders. Focus your breath into your belly. We're going to walk our hands across to the right hand side. So you're going to walk them off your mat. You're going to place your left hand on top of your right, maybe interlace the fingers, and continue to drive your chest down towards the mat. So your chest is likely just by the side of your knee, resting down the side of your thigh. Breathe into the sensation of the stretch down the left side of your body. And releasing, we'll walk our hands all the way across to the left hand side, this time placing the right hand on top of the left. Again, interlace your fingers so you've got that leverage, that point of tension, and start to drive your chest down. Walking those hands back to center. We're going to look to the space between our hands, keeping our elbows down. And we're going to start to draw our body forwards. So we're just bringing our chest in line with our arms, with our wrists, and we're bringing the weight into our shoulders. And then we're going to press it back into a child's pose. We're not looking to do any strength work today. We're just kind of moving the body, waking up all of the joints. And this is a good little preparation move to come into cobra, plank and down dog, which we'll do today, but we'll take them nice and slowly. This time, start to walk your hands out in front of you, lowering your belly down to the mat. So we're nice and long on our mat now with our toes untucked. And we've got our shoulders underneath, our elbows underneath our shoulders. Nice wide fingers spread on the mat. looking forwards, and start to look over one shoulder and look over the other, and come back to center. Bringing our hands now so they're under our shoulders. We're going to make sure that our elbows are pinned into the sides. Again, nice wide spread through those fingers on the mat. And I like to take my feet wide in Cobra. So I've widened my feet to allow my lower body to be nice and soft. Continuing to pin my elbows into my sides, I'm going to press into my hands and start to lift. We're not coming into a full Cobra. We're just doing a couple of lifts as we breathe in to lift and out to lower. And on this one, if coming into a full Cobra works for you, then you can do so. Being mindful that our lower body is nice and soft. Wherever we are, we can look over one shoulder and look over the other. Coming back to center. Start to sit back on your heels, bring the toes together. We're going to take it back into a child's pose and just notice how our body feels after that. So we've done some movement into our hips to open them. We've done some movement in our spine and our shoulders. So just noticing any sensations around these areas. Join me on your knees. And we're just going to start to roll our wrists and taking it back the other way. Just preparing our wrists for a little bit of weight for our plank and our down dog. Starting to walk your hands towards the top of the mat. You're going to tuck your toes and draw yourself into a plank. We're not going to stay here long. Press through your heels so you're driving your heels away. Make sure that we're pushing through the shoulders. Lifting the tailbone, start to bend into the knees to find your first down dog. And we can pedal our feet here. Imagine that your cat's making biscuits with your toes on the mat. Find all that movement. Nice stretches down the back of each leg, movement in the feet, in the hips. And when you're ready, rolling your spine, coming back to a plank. We're dropping our knees to the mat, untuck the toes, and sink it back to child's pose. Focusing on your breath. Now noticing the new sensations, maybe in your wrists and in your arms, maybe even in your toes. And start to come into a seated position. With fingertips to the floor, lowering the chin to the chest. Bringing an ear to a shoulder. And this time, we've got our fingertips down to the mat. The side that your head is leaned towards, we're going to take our hand, place it to the top of our head, and just allow it to stretch down the side of the neck a little bit more. And taking it to the other side. And then coming through chin to chest, interlace your fingers, place them at the back of your head and allow the elbows to drop. And you'll feel a nice stretch down the back of the neck into parts of the spine. Allow your back to round. Maybe find a little sway from side to side. And bringing hands to the knees. We'll roll the shoulders. And that's everything I have for you today. If you feel like you want to do more in your down dogs and really start to stretch out through your lower body, then go ahead and do that. But chances are with this heat, you've probably done enough. Thank you for taking the time to join me on the mat today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.